Cancel culture. You probably heard the term cancel culture if you use social media. Even on television and pop culture references, cancel culture has become a popular thing. The definition of cancel culture would be holding people accountable, calling out injustice, and breaking down the integrated system of prejudice and exploration, particularly in historical, marginalized society. Cancel culture is commonly used when a person, organization, or business does something controversial, resulting in a backlash that usually results in another group calling them out or canceling them in response. Many people see cancel culture as a modern way of holding people accountable and calling out their injustice. However, not everybody sees that. Others believe that cancel culture has given a rise to digital mobs, policing their freedom of speeches, and taking their right to give their opinion. They argue that cancel culture has resulted in a social dominated by online censorship and endorse our public discord. In light of this, we're going to discuss, is cancel culture a freedom of speech issue? For much of human history, people disagree with one another. However, the internet, particularly social media, has altered how, when, and where these types of interaction takes place. A number of people go online and criticize others for their actions and words. And this is one of the reasons why cancel culture has grown since the pandemic or even before that. Me Too. The Me Too movement, for example, went viral in 2017 when assault survivors came forward exposing their abusers, which support and unity with other abusing survivors. Many survivors said they were afraid to tell their stories because they were afraid of what people won't believe them and will blame them for their actions, to what happened to them. However, because of this movement allowed so many victims to come forward, they felt safe knowing that they wasn't alone. And one of the biggest cases with Me Too was Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was charged and sentenced for drugging and raping multiple women. Bill Cosby was canceled for his actions, and this is one of the biggest issues or cases that the cancel culture brought, especially on the rise of cancel culture. Bill Cosby, who was once renowned as America's dad, was accused of raping and drugging women. And with cancel culture, he wasn't allowed to get away with his actions, where normally celebrities and people of high profile are allowed to get rid of or not hold accountable for their actions. And that's one of the biggest pros when it comes to cancel culture. There's both pros and cons to cancel culture. You know, many people fear cancel culture and feel that what they say is limited, especially on social media, because people are sort of like watching and they will use a mistake. Even if it's like in the previous, there's many celebrities who have their previous or back in the days posts brought up and getting canceled and losing their job. So cancel culture in a way does have a toxic side to it, where people are afraid to speak their mind and have an opinion based on losing their job and getting canceled. But overall, cancel culture does bring light to many issues. Overall, I do feel that cancel culture is needed in our society, especially in our modern society with social media and stuff. It's important if a boss, a famous person, does something. I feel like it is important to not publicly shame, but basically bring light to it. And if they hurt somebody, allow them to, basically apologize and stuff. I do feel there are aspects to cancel culture that is toxic. You know, if somebody have a different ideology and stuff, everybody has personal opinions, and that's what a democracy is. Everybody has different opinions and stuff. But cancel culture is big, and many people try to use cancel culture in a negative way, which is toxic. But overall, I do feel cancel culture is needed and does not affect freedom of speech. It's not a speech issue. It's more people use it to silence others and have their views.